So there are three main components to what a buyer's agent does for a buyer. The first is to help find the buyer a property. This is done through both mainstream and non-conventional techniques. For example, whenever someone starts looking for a property and working with an agent, that agent is going to create a search profile on the MLS, the Multiple Listing System database. And each day, a number of listings will be sent to the buyer of homes that match the search criteria. In addition, a good buyer's agent will also do non-mainstream types of things, like potentially knock on doors of homes that match the buyer's criteria and ask, "Hey, I have a buyer here who's looking for a home. Would you ever consider selling?" They might mail letters, make phone calls, or talk to other agents in the industry to find out if they may know of anyone who might be willing to sell. So that's the first component, finding a home. The second component is crafting an offer that will be a solid, good offer, but also hopefully one that will work for the buyer in terms of dollars and terms. So obviously, if a home is on the market for $400,000 and the buyer says, "I love the home, I want to make an offer," the real estate agent's job is sitting down and working with the buyer to come to an agreement on how to craft an offer that it will so that it will be accepted, but that it's also attractive for the buyer. Unless it's brand new to the market and it's got a ton of interest, you don't necessarily want to offer full price. You're trying to get the best deal, just like the seller's trying to get the best deal. So the buyer's agent will work with the buyer to craft a pricing strategy, put something down in an offer that is going to be attractive, and then work with the other agent to try to get the offer accepted. The third and final piece of this process that a buyer agent does is they sit through the rest of the transaction and make sure that all the dates are met and sort of coordinate everything. So the buyer doesn't need to worry about it. There's really a checklist of over 100 different items that has to happen during the transaction of a home. Many of those things the buyer never has to even think about because it's the agent's job to make sure that those things are met. Dates are met, people are contacted, attorneys are speaking, the mortgage contingencies are met, all kinds of different things. Inspections are scheduled. So a good buyer's agent is going to oversee the entire process. They can recommend great attorneys and home inspectors for the buyer to use during the process. And that's primarily the three components of what a buyer agent does and how they help the buyer.